today we're going to focus on some glute and core strength here. So some good fundamental exercises for glute, hamstring, core strength are bridges. So Sarah's going to demonstrate a regular bridge here with both legs. So you want to keep everything nice and neutral, keep your core tight, keep your glutes squeezed. Perfect, and come on back down. So you can hold that for 3 to 5 seconds there. You can hold it for a little bit longer if it starts to get easier. And start with maybe 10 repetitions. Do 2 sets of 10 if that starts to get easy. So big thing here is you want those ankles underneath your knees. So you don't want to walk those feet too far in towards your butt there or too far out. So a nice neutral position there. And you want to keep those feet about hip width apart, so you don't want them too close together to where your knees are docking, and you don't want those feet flared out too far. So you want them in line with your hips there, and the big thing is you want to keep those knees over top of your ankles, so don't let those knees cave in, and don't let them flare out some more. So keep everything nice and neutral. Progression number 1 of this is adding a single leg kick. So you're going to lift up into a bridge, extend one leg. Good. So with this, you really want to make sure those hips stay level. So as you raise one leg, go ahead and switch to the right. Don't let that hip drop. Just like that. Good. And then lower back down. And you can lower down in between if that gets too tiring. And to cue yourself for this, if you keep your fingers right on top of your hip bones there, you can kind of feel if your pelvis is dropping on one side. So you want to make sure those fingers stay nice and level as you lift the leg. All right, so to make this even harder, go ahead and lift one leg up, and we're going to do a full single leg bridge here. So same thing, keep the hips level, and come on back down. And you can do 10 repetitions of this if you can, but don't lose that form and start to add sets. So start with a set of 10 and progress to 2 sets of 10. Alternate legs in between sets, so that way you don't start to practice bad form with these. So another great glute exercise we're going to show you next are some clamshell progressions. So the muscles on your outer hip here. So Sarah's going to start in this nice knee bent position. So the big thing with this, you want a nice 45-degree angle there. Just make sure your heels aren't too close to your butt, and don't make sure they aren't too far away. So a nice neutral angle there. Keep the hips in line with your shoulders. For the first type, you're going to keep your hips stacked and your feet stacked, and lift your knee up towards the ceiling, just like that. And you should feel this in the outer hip muscles here, in your glutes. So the big thing is don't let that hip rock back as you lift the knee. So you want to keep those hips stacked, almost as if you had a pole going straight through your hips, and you're rotating on that. So you can do a set of 10, progress to 15, 20 repetitions. Just pause at the top for 2 or 3 seconds there and control it down. The big thing is you don't want to just bang out repetitions of this and lose your form. All right, so type 2 of clamshell. Same concept, keep your hips stacked. Now she's going to lift her knee and her ankle at the same time, just like that. So same mechanics with this, same start position, and make sure that leg stays parallel with the bottom leg. So some common mistakes is to let your foot flare out or to let your knee flare up. So keep everything nice and neutral there and lower both at the same time. Good. Same thing there, start with about 10 repetitions, hold each for about 3 seconds. Nice and controlled, don't speed it up too quickly. The next progression of some glute strengthening here is in a standing position. We call these linebackers. So just some lateral band walks with the band around your ankles here. And same thing with this, you should always feel this in your glutes and your outer hips here. And same body mechanics with this. Don't let your knees go past your ankles. Keep them on top of your ankles and keep your weight shifted back on your heels. Just like that. Maintain that slight knee bend the whole way through instead of bending and coming up, bending and coming up. Alright, the next one is called monster walks. So this one is facing forward, and Sarah's going to take nice big steps to the side. So same mechanics here, just like we did with the lunges in the previous video. Don't let that knee progress past your ankle or forward past your toes. And then you can either stay facing forward or you could do these backwards. So on your way back, same thing, but reaching back.